And why you voted for Hillary?
Because I think it's time for a woman to run the country.
Because she also can make history as the first lady.
Experience.
I think she's extremely experienced. I think she's savvy. She's extremely hardworking.
Has Hillary ever accomplished anything?
I'm gonna look stupid. I'm sure she has. Now I'm gonna be on. Is this like one of those reality things?
One of her successes as a woman is just working in the political system and fighting back the Republicans.
So never mind she hasn't succeeded with anything. Has Hillary ever accomplished anything?
Yep, a lot.
Like what?
Well, she's in politics for a long, long time.
But has she accomplished anything since being in politics?
Like what?
That's what I want to know.
I can't pinpoint what she accomplished, but I know she does a lot.
She has tried to mend bridges among different people. She wants unity and love for everyone. She wants the whole world just to come together.
Has she accomplished anything?
She's accomplished her way to the White House. I think she's gone a little bit further than what, most people expected her to go through.
I'm not. So she has gotten where she's gotten.
Has Hillary ever accomplished anything?
Yes.
What?
I'm sure many things. I think that she's kind of getting a bad rap on the whole Benghazi situation and her email leak.
Well, she lied to the public.
They all lie. I think it's just the lesser of two evils.
So you're okay about her lying because everybody else lies?
No, no, it's not okay.
What has Hillary ever accomplished?
Well, I guess not yet, not that I'm aware of. But as president, she can accomplish things.
She was Secretary of State, and she failed at that. What makes you think she'll be a better president?
She was Secretary of State.
You can't think of one thing that she accomplished.
I just named, being successful fighting off the Republicans.
When I think about it, really the main thing that I like about her the most is just Bill Clinton back in the White House.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know if that's
So
really
it's not
happening.
Hillary you like, it's Bill you
I
like.
guess so, huh?
Definitely when you think about the fact that we already have had our first African-American president, I think this is really an era of progression in American politics, and we could set the stage for really set an example for the rest of the world. If we have our first African-American president and then immediately follow that with our first woman president, that would just be amazing.
I'm honestly a huge Hillary fan. I think that Hillary can do a lot for this country. I loved her tenure as Secretary of State. I'm actually doing my senior thesis on it at the moment. So, if I could see her run for president, I'd definitely vote for her.
That would be really cool because she's a woman and it's woman empowerment.
She'd be the first candidate that I would vote for.
I think she should go for it.
Yeah, I agree. Why not?
I think Bill's got a lot of followers and he owes her one, so why not?
I think she's the most obvious Democratic candidate.
I think it would be really interesting to have yet another legacy of continuing the Clintons. We've had multiple Bushes, having another Clinton, having just that continued legacy seems kind of weird. But Hillary is an amazing woman. She's done so much. And the idea of having a woman as president is really exciting. So I think it would be cool.
I think that this country is ready for a female president. I'm not a feminist, but, ready for a new, fresh face out in office.
What do you think is her greatest achievement as Secretary of State?
I'm not really sure.
I'm not that into politics.
I don't know. It's a tough question. I don't know. I really don't know.
Definitely not the Benghazi ordeal,
Don't say
right?
that.
Whoa. I have no clue.
There's just so many. Just the fact that she's been such a world leader and just recognized all over as doing so many great things. I don't even know that I could pick a single accomplishment.
Her soft power approach, I think, was a very big and positive contrast to the previous 8 years under the Bush administration, and I think really, gained America's credibility abroad and was very positive for the U.S. in general.
As Secretary of State, she has just done a great job in not letting things deteriorate honestly, I'm not very up to date with politics, but I know she hasn't made a major mistake, and that would definitely be an accomplishment.
What do you think is her greatest achievement as Secretary of State?
Well, she didn't have that many before she gave up that role.
And the way she handled Benghazi was remarkably adept at international affairs, so I really respect her for that.
So you think probably Benghazi is one of her best accomplishments?
I mean, no accomplishment is without fail, but I think that it ranks pretty high up on the level of emergency that it presented and how well it was handled. So yeah, I would definitely say that Benghazi is her high point.
You're gonna vote for Hillary Clinton?
Yes. Yes. I think it's a better, there's a worse option.
Voting for Hillary or Donald Trump?
Hillary.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
What?
Really?
I am.
You're not kidding.
What is this on?
Oh man. Okay. I'm sorry. I couldn't. Thank you very much. Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton?
Hillary Clinton.
There's a new Man in the Street Monday episode coming up, well, on Monday. Stay tuned. I'll see you soon.
Hillary. I trust Hillary for leadership, dedication, honor, trust, dignity, loyal, trustworthy. Hillary's the best. I know when she becomes president, she'll be the best leader in the world. Go Hillary.
All right. Hey, did you see the article about the WikiLeaks documents that came out and said the DNC was trying to throw it for Hillary? They did not want Bernie Sanders to become the nominee for the Democratic Party.
Well, I believe that the Democratic Party, they know what they're doing. Hillary's a good leader. I trust Hillary. Hillary is a good leader. And I know when she becomes president of the United States, she'll be an outstanding leader for our country. I trust her. I trust her for loyalty, leadership, trust, value, friendship, and God and country.
Experience of being the first lady of, and United States, and as a Secretary of State and a senator. So she's for it, not Bernie.
She's what?
She's for it, and I know she's gonna win, not Bernie. She's gonna win.
Well, you say not Bernie like he's not qualified.
No, Bernie is not. He's not qualified. He doesn't have that much education, no experience like Hillary.
What do you mean? What do you mean no education?
Experience, he's never been for policy, politicals and stuff like that. Like Hillary, she knows.
But is experience always the best thing? I mean, she voted for the Iraq War and other things like Libya, and that hasn't turned out so well.
I know it hasn't turned out. Yeah, I know that. I know.
A huge part of her campaign talked about Equal Pay Day and really made sure that, it was taken notice. So I guess it was 2 days ago at this point that it marked, the day that a white woman would have made the same amount as a man had in 2015. She's really focused on raising those wages.
How specifically is she going to close that gap?
I am not a policy wonk.
She hasn't really described it.
She has a pretty thought out policy on it. I'm just an organizer.
How would you rate her performance as a senator and a Secretary of State?
She did very well. She got out with the people, amongst the people, and does a lot of charity work, and it shows. And I believe that her heart is in it.
When you're looking to support a potential presidential candidate, do you look at personality and gender, things like that, or do you look at positions and political principles first?
It's a little bit of everything. A great personality goes a long way, and obviously your experience and where you stand on certain topics.
So what positions of hers do you support?
This is where you're probably going to have to cut it because I'm a mom of 2 toddlers and 1 on the way, so I have not been watching a lot of the news.
But you found time to support her and get here at 5 in the morning and not to research her positions?
I did, but I don't know.
So maybe it's not a mix of both. Maybe it's a lot of one more than the other.
It's a little bit of everything. I mean, I honestly haven't been keeping up with the politics in the last year or so.
And you've been here since 5, 6 in the morning, standing in line to meet the one and only Hillary Rodham Clinton. Did she live up to your expectations?
She did. She said she liked my glasses, so I mean, that's the highlight of my day.
That was what your expectations were, that she was going to compliment your glasses?
Definitely not. I have much higher expectations for her, but like, that was my highlight.
Well, let's talk about those expectations in the broadest sense possible. What are your expectations from Ms. Clinton?
That she just continues to be the role model that she is, and she continues to inspire women and affect change, across the world and the policies that she's been working on.
What policies are those?
Our foreign policy, she's been really large in that. I love the Clinton Foundation. I'm an AmeriCorps alumni, so the work that her family has done for AmeriCorps has really impacted my life and the service that I've dedicated my life to.
Well, you said foreign policy. That's a good category that she's been very strong in. But can you describe like what specific policies within that you support or that you're excited about?
Not necessarily. I'm not really that well versed on them, so I don't want to speak on things that I'm not hugely educated on. I'm more of a domestic policy kind of person pertaining to education and education reform. That's where my knowledge as far as policy and politics go.
Okay, so like as First Lady or as a senator of her domestic policies, then what specific policies do you agree with or support or look forward to seeing more from her on?
The work that she's done in service and the fact that she advocates for service and how it brings people together. She just recently had a conference on that, and she spoke on how civic service and people being involved in their communities and volunteerism and how it can be a great unifier.
So her policy here is to tell other people to volunteer in their communities?
Yeah.
That's her domestic policy?
Maybe.
Nothing about like taxes or domestic surveillance or small businesses or unemployment, anything like that?
And I'm sure those are things that she will talk more about if she decides to run in 2016, and we'll be able to hear more what her platform is on those topics.
So you say you support her because of her policies, but you don't really know any of her domestic or foreign policies other than tell other people to volunteer.
That's what means the most to my life.
So why do you support her?
Well, I mean, she stands for like a lot of things that I do, and the fact that she could be a first female president is huge for other females. Like, that's a great role model for us to all have in our lives.
So what things are you referring to there that you guys have in common?
Oh, God.
Things that you're passionate about, positions, things that you support.
Oh, gosh. If my mother sees
Come on, you said you wouldn't slide away. Look at this.
I'm sorry. I don't know if I want to, much I want to get into, but
well, these are the things that you stand for, right? What do you stand for? We'll make it easier for you. What do you stand for?
What do I stand for? Well,
being a Democrat, right?
Yeah. Like a big thing that I know that's up right now is for the student loans and like that's a big thing, as well as LGBT rights, because that's one of the big things that I'm really focused on. And I know there's been a big move with Obama, and I know that she'll be one that would continue that. So that's something that I'm really passionate for. And so I think that if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be her.
Now, you said it's a big deal that we would have the first female president, right?
Yes.
So that gives you a little like bonus incentive to vote for someone, right?
Yeah.
That might outweigh some other factors.
Yes.
So like most Democrats are like they believe in civil liberties, right, and like privacy rights and things like that. You support those positions?
Yes, to the extent.
Okay, well that's fine. Most Democrats are relatively anti-war, right?
Yes.
So would you describe yourself as anti-war?
Yes.
So you'd be willing to compromise on some of these things, or maybe like even LGBT rights, or student loans or things like that. You'd be willing to compromise to have a female president, right?
Yes, to an extent. As long as I agree with a majority of what it is, then I am all for it. Because there's not going to be anyone who perfectly represents everything that I want.
Sure.
So if there's certain things that are hit upon that I really do feel strongly for, she's not going to be able to get everything, and I know that.
Well, like if a president was, say, getting people killed unnecessarily, in a way that you thought was unnecessary, that you disagreed with, you'd be like, no, that doesn't matter what color of your skin or what gender, like you wouldn't support him, right?
Of course. No.
So, like supporting Obama's drone strike policies that are killing children in the Middle East, that would be a disqualifier, right?
Oh yeah.
So, like supporting the war in Iraq, that would be a disqualifier.
Yeah.
So, like calling Ed Snowden, saying that that what he did by revealing the documents from the NSA, like that was supporting terrorism, like that would be a disqualifier, right?
Yeah,
like
that's hard.
So like it'd be nice to have a woman president, but if she was like doing those things and like getting people killed unnecessarily or was one of those policies, you'd be like, no, I'm not going to support her.
Yeah.
Well, I have some bad news for you.
I know. I know. It's not a perfect candidate, and I know that there's a lot of, especially in those particular things that she is for. So really, it's to an extent.
So you knew all that, and you support her anyway.
Yes.
So you're willing to say, let's have a female president in the White House, even if she gets people killed, just because she has different genitalia, we're going to support her. It doesn't matter if people die as a result.
I mean, it's a really horrible thing to say, but I guess I didn't think of it in that sense. That's pretty bad.
Maybe you should think about it more.
I really think I should.
I'm sure she has. Now I'm going to be on. Is this like one of those reality things?
One of her successes as a woman is just working in the political system and fighting back the Republicans.
So never mind she hasn't succeeded with anything. Has Hillary ever accomplished anything?
Yep, a lot.
Like what?
Well, she's in...
For many things, I think that she's kind of getting a bad rap on the whole Benghazi situation and her email leak.
Well, she lied to the public.
They all lie. I think it's just the lesser of two evils.
So you're okay about her lying because everybody else lies?
No, I mean...
She accomplished anything?
She's accomplished her way to the White House. I think she's gone a little bit further than what, most people expected her to go through.
I'm not so... She has gotten where she has gotten.
Has Hillary ever accomplished anything?
Yes.
What?
I'm sure.
Politics for a long, long time.
Well, has she accomplished anything since being in politics?
Like what?
That's what I want to know.
I can't pinpoint what she accomplished, but I know she does a lot.
She has tried to mend bridges among different people. She wants unity and love for everyone. She wants the whole world just to come together.
And why you voted for Hillary?
Because I think it's time for a woman to run the country.
Because she also can make history as the first lady.
Experience.
I think she's extremely experienced. I think she's savvy. She's extremely hardworking.
Has Hillary ever accomplished anything?
I'm gonna look stupid. Don't